Welcome to Fantasy Joe's Gojo. This is our YouTube exclusive for this week. And what we're going to do this week is we're going to answer a question from a listener. So Trey, take it away.
All right, so we actually had a couple questions. Shout out to the Fantasy Addict support group. And the questions came in from Kirk and Jake Patterson. And the questions kind of are the same, or at least similar. Kirk asked, does Sammy Watkins' value go up, down, or stay the same in Kansas City? And then Jake asked, in a Superflex league, Dynasty, of course, rank these five, and they're all Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Kareem Hunt, and Travis Kelce. So we'll start with you, Will. Why don't you give us your rankings of those five Chiefs, and then as you do that, kind of comment on Sammy Watkins' value with the move to Kansas City.
I went to Kansas City on a Friday. From Oklahoma. I was Will Parker in 8th grade. As a little fun fact, that was one of my solos. So there you go. So I would go. Kareem Hunt would be number 1. Tyreek Hill would be number 2. I'd go Mahomes 3, Kelce 4, and Sammy Watkins 5 in a Superflex startup. The really hard time I had was with Tyreek Hill and Mahomes between at the number 2 slot, because I just don't know what Mahomes is going to be, because he came in as a project quarterback, and they did move Alex Smith, so that tells you what they thought about Mahomes' development in that camp. But the Chiefs haven't been the best at managing their cap space, and so I think that also mattered when it goes into that. So at the end of the day, that's where I ended up, and I honestly don't feel bad about it. I feel okay.
All right, Ryan, what about you? What's your rank of those five guys, and what's your thoughts on Samuel Watkins?
Yeah, this is really tough for me. And at least initially, I'm going to lean towards a conservative approach, because mine are totally different from your guys. I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce. I think I'm going to go with Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, and Patrick Mahomes, because my thinking is I like Sammy Watkins going to the Chiefs for Kareem Hunt and even Kelce. Like I feel that those guys are safe. And I think Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins are wild cards. What is this going to do for their production? Is this a good thing for Tyreek Hill or a bad thing? I don't think we're quite clear on that. The same with Sammy Watkins. And I think Mahomes, I know the hype is really rising, but if I'm buying a second-year quarterback right now, I'm looking at Mitch Trubisky as opposed to Patrick Mahomes. I know the ceiling is unbelievable for Mahomes, but we don't know what he's going to be yet. We just don't. So I'm going to go conservative. I guess I would lean towards Hunt and Kelce, and then Tyreek, Sammy Watkins, and Patrick Mahomes, Trey.
And what about Sammy Watkins? Do you feel like his value now is greater than, less than, or equal to where it was, say, a week ago before we knew where he was going to land?
I think it's greater. I think the potential is really unbelievable. I think that could be a great connection, Mahomes to Watkins. So I'm optimistic. I don't know that I would run out and try to buy Sammy Watkins, though. It's not as favorable a landing spot as I would have liked. I don't know. I think there would have been better places for him. But I like it generally. I think there's an uptick.
And I kind of forgot to comment about that when I was talking about it. But I think it kind of stays the same, in all honesty. He just I wasn't prepared for that landing spot whatsoever. And I don't know Mahomes' accuracy and how he's going to be able to feed Watkins the ball and where it's going to come from. And so I'm kind of just staying pat on him. I sold him in a Dynasty league earlier, and I still don't feel bad about that move I made. Where are you guys taking him in a startup Superflex draft?
That's a good question. I think that he's going to start creeping into that third round range, where we talked about with Allen Robinson. I think, and I'll kind of answer the question too, as we, for me, Kareem Hunt is number 1 for me. Number 2 for me is actually Sammy Watkins. And I'm a big Sammy believer. And I like the landing spot. I think people kind of forget what Sammy Watkins is. He's not just a speed guy. He's an excellent receiver. I would follow that up with Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, and then Travis Kelce. The thing is, I think all 5 of these guys end up going in the top 4 rounds of a startup draft. And for me, I think Sammy Watkins gained value. I don't think he was going to gain anything by coming back to LA. I would have loved to see him go to San Francisco, where he could be the darling for Jimmy GQ, but I'm pretty happy to see him in Kansas City. I think he'll be 1B in that passing game with Kelce being 1A. And I think Hill's going to take a little bit of a back seat.
It's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. So thanks for joining us for our first YouTube exclusive. This was Fantasy Joe's Gojo. Join us again next week and subscribe to the show.
Gojo
That's
Show.
right.
Go, 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 Gojo Show.
And